Some love stories begin in the heart. Others wait patiently in the silence between two souls who already belong to each other. In an ancient Hausa city of mud walls, moonlit courtyards, rigid honor, friendship-bound loyalty, and dangerous jealousy, two lifelong companions are forced to confront the love they were never meant to name. In the ancient walled city of Birnin Rafi, where the call to prayer drifted like poetry across flat roofs, and the moon was trusted more than promises, friendship was sacred. Their friendship began under the sprawling canopy of an ancient baobab. 7-year-old Sadiq, already broad-shouldered for his age, found Zainab weeping over a broken clay doll. "I can fix it," Sadiq had said, his voice unusually deep even then. Zainab looked up, her eyes like polished onyx against her tawny skin. "It is shattered, Sadiq. Some things cannot be mended." "Then I will guard the pieces until we find a way," he replied firmly. He sat beside her, his steady dark-skinned frame acting as a shield against the wind. That day, they didn't just share a broken toy. They shared a silent pact of protection. As they grew, their beauty became the talk of the market squares. Zainab developed into a woman of ethereal grace. Her skin was the color of rich mahogany, smooth and glowing as if lit from within. She possessed a high, regal forehead and a neck that seemed to carry the weight of the city's history with effortless poise. Her calm unsettled people, not because she lacked feeling, but because she carried it without noise. Sadiq became her physical shadow, a mountain of a man with muscles forged by the forge and the field. His jawline was sharp enough to cut silk, and his eyes, fierce to others, turned to liquid honey whenever they landed on her. He never followed her too closely, never stood too far away. They walked the same streets, shared the same well, sat beneath the same moon, and never named what lived between them. The path to one another was obstructed by the shadows of others. Zainab was promised to Kamal, a wealthy merchant's son whose robes were as loud as his ego. One afternoon, Kamal cornered her near the granaries. "You should be grateful, Zainab," he sneered, adjusting his gold-embroidered cap. "Most women in Birnin Rafi would beg to be the jewel in my house. You are quiet, which is good. It means you won't interrupt when I speak of my conquests." "A jewel is kept in a box, Kamal," Zainab replied, her voice a cool stream. "I am a woman of the desert. I need the horizon, not a lid." His face reddened. "You need a master, and I am the only one who can afford your price." From that moment, her heart closed its doors to him completely. Meanwhile, Sadiq had been drawn into the orbit of Safia, the village's most sought-after bachelorette. She loved admiration the way others loved prayer. Her braids always gleamed, her silver bangles sang with every movement. "Look at them," Safia whispered one evening, gesturing toward the other maidens. "They stare because they know I have the strongest man in Birnin Rafi. Tell me, do I not look more beautiful than that drab Zainab today?" "Zainab is not drab," Sadiq replied, his gaze drifting to the well where Zainab stood. Safia's smile tightened. "She is a mouse. She hides behind silence because she has nothing to say. Look at me when I speak to you." Then, colder, "If I see you watching her again, I will tell the elders you lack the discipline of a true suitor." Jealousy took root. The tension between Zainab and Sadiq reached its peak during the festival of the new moon. They found themselves alone in the cooling shadows of the spice market. The air was thick with cloves and something far more dangerous. As Sadiq reached to help Zainab lift a heavy sack of grain, their hands brushed. The contact was electric. He didn't pull away. His fingers lingered against her pulse point. The air between them thinned, tight and frantic, heavy with restraint. Safia says I am a fool for staying near you, Sadiq rasped, his eyes searching hers. And Kamal says I am a broken vessel because I will not bow, Zainab whispered as Sadiq stepped closer, his frame nearly pinning her against the mud brick wall. We are both seeking solace in people who do not see us, she continued. I find my peace only when I am standing in your shadow, Sadiq. His forehead rested against hers. Then stay there, he groaned. Stay where it is safe. Rejection cuddled into vengeance. Kamal gathered the village gossips, his voice dripping with false concern. I saw her, he lied, wandering at night, unveiled. Her virtue is as thin as dust. Safia sharpened the blade. Sadiq is no man, she told anyone who would listen. He is bewitched by a silent sorceress. The city turned. One morning, Zainab was dragged into the public square. Shame, Safia shrieked. Look at the pure Zainab. Zainab stood amidst the insults, her chin lifted, but her knees trembled and her heart thundered against her ribs. Still, her spine did not bend. Just as the first stone of ridicule was about to be cast, Sadiq stepped into the circle. He was followed by his mother, Amina, the city's most respected midwife, dignity woven into every step. Enough, Amina rang out. I have watched these two since they were children. I have seen Kamal try to buy a heart not for sale, and Safia try to tether a lion with vanity. Silence fell. Truth rose. Kamal and Safia shrank back, their power dissolving into the dust they had stirred. That night, under the old acacia tree, the world felt still for the first time in years. Sadiq took Zainab's hands in his calloused palms a stark contrast to her soft skin. They say we are already guilty, she whispered, moonlight catching her tears. Why do we still pretend we are innocent? He looked at her with raw, unguarded love. Because loving you without permission would dishonor you, he said, his voice breaking. And I would rather lose my heart than your dignity. I wanted the world to know you were mine by right, not by a secret in the dark. Zainab didn't wait for another word. She pulled him down. The kiss shattered years of restraint, longing, protection, patience, colliding into truth. When they parted, something ancient had been healed. What began with guarding broken pieces beneath a baobab had become a love whole enough to withstand the world. Friendship had not just been their foundation, it had been their sanctuary. And as the moon climbed higher, Bernin Rafi finally knew the truth. Some loves are not meant to be sparked, they are meant to be endured until they catch fire. If stories of African love, honor, and destiny move your heart, subscribe to Echoes of African Love and tell us in the comments, do you believe the deepest love always begins as friendship?